Good evening, everyone. I am Rufus Bill, and welcome to another edition of Talking To, which is a weekly conversation between three unique individuals, three unique perspectives, three unique adults, three unique citizens that have an opinion on everything. Today is August 18th, 2024, a beautiful day in the city of Detroit, Michigan. We are on Eastern Standard Time, 7:06. We'd like to welcome you, and so glad that you're taking out the time on a Sunday evening to listen and to view Talking To. And if you're listening at a later time or on another day, we also welcome you. We want to let you know that you can be part of the conversation today by going into our chat and just writing your comment. Or, you know what, we're going to even offer you an opportunity to come and join us on Talking To today. We'll bring you up. I'll send you a link, and we'll get it cooking, rocking, and rolling. But first, we're going to introduce our other host and say good afternoon to Joanne Tolson Fuller. Joanne, how are you today?
Good afternoon, Rufus. How are you?
I'm doing fine. The lady in blue, you having a good day today?
I'm having a good day.
That's
I am.
good.
It's been a busy day, but it's a good day.
Busy but good. All right, I love it.
Yes.
And I also like to welcome Justin Hearn. Good afternoon, Justin.
What's going on, good people? How y'all doing?
We're good. How you doing?
Hey, man, I'm fantastic.
You fantastic.
Fantastic.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yes, it is. So how was your day today, Justin?
My day has been cool, super productive, definitely. I just got back from the gym not too long ago, so worked a little overtime today. So, it's been a good day.
I'll see you payday.
Yeah.
Awesome. Did your wife tell you, Justin, that I saw her at Pilates?
She did. I keep forgetting to mention it. She did tell me. She told me literally when she came back home. That day. It's been a while, but yeah, she told me. It's been a little while, but yeah, I was like, how ironic is that? You know.
I was like, man, she like, oh, that's Justin's wife. Hey.
Yep, she did.
Yes.
That's nice. How did that Pilates class go that day, Joanne?
Good. I like Pilates.
You like Pilates?
Yeah. It's more core training and just kind of getting your core and more they say it was invented by someone who used to teach ballet.
I can believe
it's more
that.
strength training, core training, but it's almost like you're using more of your own muscle to do the work.
And that's what counts, you know.
Yes.
That's what counts. You know, you see dudes, walk around like these, but the true definition of fitness is if you fall in a crack, can you pull yourself out?
Right.
I don't care if you can lift 300 pounds off a bench. If you fall in the crack and you can't pull, or if you hanging on to a cliff and you can't pull yourself, you can't pull your own body weight.
It's over.
Yeah.
You're in trouble.
That's gonna be like Wile E. Coyote on the cliff. Listen, we got a real great show coming on today for everyone. We're going to talk about the Lions. We're going to talk about that judge and the teenager. Yeah. Also, we're going to talk about human trafficking.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk to LaQuitt Weaver again quickly just to get a recap of what's going on with him and his group for this upcoming week. And we're going to also talk about a Facebook post that was made I believe last week concerning our former mayor, Kwame Kilpatrick, and a clapback that he did. So we want you to just stay attuned and do not miss it because it's going to be hot. It's already hot.
It's already hot.
So before, Joanne, we go to the sports. Justin, what happened in the election? What? Tell me why Hill Harper didn't make it. Why do you think?
Oh man, because you have to crawl before you can walk. That's just the reality of it. I think Hill. I had an opportunity to meet Hill. I had the opportunity to talk with him. I think the brother is a good brother. I think the brother can make a difference, but I would like him to make a difference locally before he tried to represent a group of people on a national level. So you want to get in. So I think most people thought that he was a good guy. But I think that not having the grassroots here enough, you know what I mean? It was more opportunistic than anything, you know what I mean? But much respect to him. I think if he would have ran for city council, I think he could have won. I think he definitely would won. And I would encourage him that if you really care about Detroit and you really care about making the impact, before you try to go to Washington and represent us,
get yourself downtown.
Yeah, get yourself downtown and work on these issues locally, and then you will get the backing to run for that. So I think ultimately that's why he didn't win. But good brother, and I hope that he dusts himself off and try again. Locally first. Locally. Mm-hmm.
I think I spoke to Joanne about this when we talked about it right after the election, and I also had this conversation today with some friends at lunch. I said, to win Detroit is a very we're a celebrity town.
Yeah,
a lot of the residents are impressed with bright lights, big names, and because that he is an actor, I think he might have had a better turnout in Detroit had he used that star power. Now he may not know.
You don't think he used this? You don't think he used his star power?
No. So what's his name? Introducing him on stage. Who was that down?
Oh,
it was 2 concerts that came and they introduced him. I said they're not from Detroit. Well, not so much that they were not from Detroit. They didn't have enough star power.
Star power.
Yeah.
Okay.
He needed somebody like, especially for the millennial vote. Whoever the millennials like, I don't know who that is. In terms of acting, who is that, Justin?
I don't know actors. Fun fact, I don't.
Joanne, do you know who does your son like?
I'm not sure. I don't know, but I agree with you that he did not use and for me, I want to say I thought it was purposefully.
Yes.
He did not use star power.
Okay.
Because I don't think just from my dealings, I don't think that he wanted them to vote for him because of who he was on the little screen. I think he wants them to vote for him for who he is in real life. But like the guy that we had on, your friend
Adolph Mongo.
He said that he thinks that he should have used more of his star power because that probably would have gotten him over. But I think Hill wanted to do it on his merit versus the star power merit.
Yeah, I guess
because the boy is bad.
He is. Attorney, Harvard graduate.
At all. He's
not at all.
At all.
Well, I don't think it would have. I honestly don't think it would have helped him, because I think, to me, more important would have been like somebody who the jury's out on this guy, but is Kwame Young II, or you know what I mean? He swung for the fences, but then again he realized, like, you know what, this ain't gonna work. Let me try to run locally, and then so now he's kind of positioned himself that I don't think he'll win, but it's that now he's more of a household name. You know what I mean? He's been able to do some stuff, whatever. Hill Harper ain't did nothing for Detroit. You know what I'm saying? And then too, the reason why I don't think star power would have worked is because the people that was actually going to vote in that election is not millennials, right? And honestly, most people don't know who Hill Harper is. There's a lot of people that vote that don't know who Snoop Dogg is. You know what I'm saying? Snoop Dogg has become a lot more popular because the Olympics and stuff like that. But I don't think his star power would have really helped him, because the people that would turn out to vote for primaries, it just wouldn't have happened. You know what I mean? I don't think it would have helped him. But more so being a up and coming person in Detroit that's done moved the lever, that they didn't seen, and you know what I mean? I think that would have helped him more than anything. Is that Wayne County is largely, if you could have won Wayne County, you could have won, I believe, if I remember the numbers right. But it's like Wayne County don't know you for real. You know what I mean?
Well, that was evident in the vote, because we talked about that. It was like 2%
He only got 20%, and what's
statewide 2%. Wayne County, yes.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So if Wayne County would have showed up and voted for him, then he could have won. But that's my point, is that nobody knows who he is, and that's because of the lack of having the roots locally. Now you take his good-hearted person, you take that pedigree, and you get involved locally. I think you have a different turnout.
Well, that's true. I agree.
That's true. I agree. I agree
with that. And that's what Adolph said. He talked about having the roots here in the city of Detroit, right. And getting familiarized, and because Detroit is a tricky town anyway.
It really is.
It is.
It really
is.
It's and now that it's going through this transition.
Yes.
It's really, you really have to know and feel the people, especially during this transition period. You have to know.
You better know.
You got to know your audience.
You always know your audience. Yeah. Always know your audience.
I think that politically we're going to be in a really I don't want to say difficult time, but a defining time, because in this upcoming election over the next 2 years, you're going to have more than likely Mayor Duggan has expressed that he from jump only wanted to do 4 terms. He hasn't announced that he'll be running again. There's rumors, people believe that he's going to try to run for governor. He hasn't said anything, but we don't know what he's going to do. But now you have the battle for Detroit. So now largely when you look at voters in Detroit, you're talking about people over the age of 40, right? People under the age of 30 usually doesn't vote in primary or local city government elections. You're talking about population of over 40. That has determined the landslide of who becomes the next mayor, that 40 plus group. So I think you got interesting where you got people like Madam President, I can't
Harris?
Sheffield. Sheffield, who is who's basically put her bid out there that she's going to be running, but I kind of think that older Detroit views her as a princess, and I don't think that the 40 plus is going to elect the princess. So it's going to be can she show them that she's actually not a princess, that she's not a golden girl?
Ready.
I mean, that's going to be the challenge for me, from my perspective. And then two,
well, tell her dad to keep quiet.
Please. Because
if Forrest open his mouth, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Have a seat.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we're gonna find out some more information, and keep abreast on the upcoming general election, and even for the elections that are to come next year, for that mayor's race, and also for the mayor's race in Detroit, and also for the governor's race.
Yeah.
But before we go to our sports and our other topics for the day, I wanted to finish a topic that we started last week with Joanne and myself and Dr. E. LaQuint Weaver of the from Detroit, Michigan. He has a great big event that's coming up, and we're going to just switch tracks for a little bit and go over there to Dr. Weaver. Good afternoon, Dr. E. LaQuint Weaver. Look at that.
Good afternoon, Brother Bill. I am wore out.
Are you wore out?
I just left rehearsal.
Okay.
And so but I made it home. I drove home in speed and in excellence. And I'm here. I am really here. And not that I forgot, but I did forget that.
That's all right.
And they got to shouting in rehearsal, and I got to shouting in rehearsal. So we had to come back from the shout and get it together. And then I looked at my phone, and Bessie say, "You got an interview with Rufus in about the next 30 minutes. What are you going to do?" I said, "I'm on my way." She said, "Thank you." So out the door I ran, and then on here I came to see about my brother.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad that you have that you decided and made a commitment to the gospel music, because you've been doing this here for 44 years in the city of Detroit. That's 2 lifetimes. Somebody that's 20 and somebody that's 44, I should say. You've accomplished many things. You are an Emmy Award winner. You are a radio talk show host. You are something that you always wanted to do. We were talking last week, Joanne and I, with you about how you were in the Thornapple Valley contest, and because of that got you over to Martha Jean LaQueen Steinberg, and you became the group of the choir for the event for how many years?
It's about 13 or 14 years.
14 years. The King of Kings Palm Sunday Gospel Service. You and the Hallelujah I think started off with the Hallelujah Connection, ending with the Hollywood. The Hallelujah.
The Hallelujah Singers.
And then eventually you became like the lead singer for The King is Coming. And it was just unbelievable how that very first time, and all the times that you sang that song, just how it just captivated the audience, how the Holy Spirit came in and just blew the Holy Spirit blew the breath, it blessed us. And it blessed the crowd. And we can expect that this weekend. So I want you to tell us all about what's going on this weekend.
Well, Dr. Rufus Bill, it is the 44th year anniversary for me, and I'm celebrating it with the new aggregation of Biblical People, and it's a production slash concert.
Okay.
And I had been fighting with this thing for like, I would say about 8 years, and being disobedient to God and didn't do what I was supposed to have done. And long story short, he took me through some changes, complete changes, and had to remove me to get me to do this. What I'm going to do. Yes, to this place. And did I want to do it? No. I was just trying to not do it his way. I was trying to do it his way, but
your way.
Me
in the way. His way with you in the way.
Right. And he says, no, Mr. Weaver, not that way. You got to go this way. I've allowed you to do it different ways and hear what other people think that you should do. Mm-hmm. I want you, just you and me, just you and I. And I mean, Rufus, many nights when I yield to him and gave him full control, many nights I was in there watching television, and it's like one night I never will forget. I was asleep and the dream came. I could hear it. I mean, I could see it. I couldn't hear it. I saw everything that's going to happen. And I'm like, well, Lord, what are you trying to do? And he wouldn't let me go back to sleep. And he said, get up and go to the computer. And he took me through biblical stories. And this is where I'm at now. When a lot of nights I woke up, a lot of nights I worked so hard, it was night. And when I knew anything, the birds were chirping. I was still into I was working.
Being led. Well, we're excited about this weekend. And who's the special guest on the program?
Well, all the way from Brooklyn, New York, is my little brother. Everybody knows him. God Wants a Yes, King.
God is in control.
God is in control. The one and only Professor James Hall is coming in, and he's a part. And we have brother Elijah Bell he's one of the singers he was one of the lead singers for my good friend and brother, the late Kevin Lemons and Higher Calling. He does the song Proclaim, and he's coming in. He'll be a part. And we're bringing wonderful, wonderful, wonderful new talent to the city of Detroit. And Rufus, you're going to absolutely love her. Her name is Kimberly Kenny Green from Dallas, Texas.
All right.
And you got Biblical People.
And then you also have, and we won't go through all of the local talent that will also be included in.
My pastors.
Our pastors in this program that's coming up. Give us the date, Give us the location and how can we be a part?
Listen, it's going to be this coming Sunday, which is August the 25th, 2024. And it's going to be held at the Canton Village Theater. That address is 50400. That's Cherry Hill Road in Canton, Michigan. The doors are going to open at 5 p.m. and the service will start at 6 p.m. promptly. You can get tickets, and they are available right now at CantonVillageTheater.org. CantonVillageTheater.org. There you can go purchase your tickets. We have $35 tickets for general admission and $50 tickets for the VIP. And the VIP section seems like to be shrinking real fast. And I know how Detroit is. Sometimes Detroit can be a last minute city, because I know sometimes I be last minute, and, but that's not good. But if you want that good seat and what have you, without it being picked over, I advise you to go on and get your tickets now, so that you can have a nice seat.
Right.
Every seat in the auditorium is nice, but it depends on what you want to pick to call yourself, as nice, a good seat.
A good seat.
So yeah. So we want you to come. A beautiful facility, Rufus.
Yes, it is.
And it's just excellent. And we're excited. We got 2 more rehearsals.
Okay.
And then there it is, So we actually, everybody keep us in your prayers, and come on. It's something totally different.
I know we're excited to see it, and we look forward to seeing you next Sunday. What time the doors open?
Doors will open at 5:00 p.m. sharp, so you can get there. And if you I will make this announcement. If you're one of the VIP section, there is a gift that goes with that for those 100 people. So make sure that those that have their names on that list that we know about, check at the front so that you can pick up your gift, or you can get it before or after. So I don't know, whichever you choose. That'll be up to you.
Well, we love it. Dr. Eloquent Weaver, Biblical People, next Sunday. Doors open at 6 o'clock. The Canton 5. I see. 5 o'clock. Canton Village Theater.
Right. 50400 Cherry Hill Road.
Thank you for being our special guest today.
Thank you, Rufus, for having me, and I look to see you on Sunday.
Sunday it is, buddy.
All right. Thank you.
Have a great one.
You
So
too,
once
man.
again, thank you. Once again, next weekend it will be the big 44th celebration for Dr. Eloquent Weaver. And the production is spectacular. If you've ever gone to any of his concerts, you know that they don't play. They get down with the Get Down Joanne. Justin, I don't know if you've ever been to one of the concerts or familiar with his music, but it's fire. Just like the Detroit Lions.
Okay.
What do they do?
It's preseason. No starters have really played that much at all. Just kind of figure out these backup roles. Talk of the town has been backup quarterback. I don't know if you guys remember, but 2 years ago, the Detroit Lions took a 3rd-round pick, a quarterback from University of Texas, a black man by the name of Hendon Hooker. However, he was drafted hurt. He had towards ACL. And so last year he spent rehabbing. This year we actually getting to see him play in preseason, and things look promising. He went 12 for 15 for like 150 yards and a running touchdown. He brings a different dynamic to the Lions offense because he's a mobile quarterback. Some of the likes of Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes, different things like that. He's able to, make things happen when things break down. So that's kind of the talk of the town. Looking at him, he does look good. He looks way better than Nate Sudfeld, the guy that's in front of him. So I fully expect Hendon Hooker to go into the season being the number 2 quarterback, and that's good news for the Lions. We got Jared Goff under contract for 2 more years.
Okay.
So we're looking like a Jordan Love situation, or Aaron Rodgers situation, right? Brett Favre left, Aaron Rodgers came. Aaron Rodgers left, Jordan Love came. All those quarterbacks were able to sit and learn and grow and develop. And I think this is good for Hendon Hooker. It's also good for the Detroit Lions. So that's the talk. Got the last preseason game coming up next weekend here in Detroit against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I would expect maybe the starters to play the first half. They did last year. But the first game is fastly approaching. It's going to be Sunday Night Football. That means the world is going to be watching.
Yes.
And Matthew Stafford is coming back to town. So all eyes is on there. Preseason football is a joke, but it's good that football is back.
I say he better leave Karen at home, Joanne.
Amen.
Karen, Mrs. Stafford, don't come in here running that mouth.
Thank you. Stop.
So I think, guys, what we should do, we should get one of those charts like you see in church for the building fund, and start on the bottom. And we're going to use Joanne's, what is it? What she call them? The pussycats. Put the pussycats on the bottom. Put the big lion roar at the top. And let's see them go on up.
Let's see it go on up. A wonderful idea. It's a wonderful idea.
See if the babies come to full.
See them come into the full animal that they are. And for those who are listening from the Detroit Lion franchise, now I don't know if Justin can accept any tickets, but Joanne and Rufus can.
I can't. I don't know why I can't accept tickets.
Oh, you can accept tickets? Well, so we need 6 sweet tickets. Now, Justin may want to be on the floor, and Ricky might want to be on the floor.
Nope, I prefer Sweet Life.
So I don't know, Joanne. You might be sweet.
Amen.
Okay, the Sweet Life. All right. So we need 6 sweet tickets.
Yeah.
Detroit Lions.
Yes.
Administration.
Yes, hook us up.
Okay, hook us on up. If you're just now viewing, it's talking to Joanne Tosin Fuller, Justin Hearn, Rufus Bill. We're gonna this week, or maybe was it last? No, it was this week that there was a issue that happened in court today on that day, Justin and Joanne. Kind of give us the details about what went on.
Well, there was a field going on. And I still was trying to find out who the field trip was with.
The Greening of Detroit.
Greening of Detroit. And so they went to this courtroom, I guess, to view the judge, to view some proceedings.
Right.
And from my understanding from reading different articles, the young lady she kept falling asleep while she was in his courtroom. He told her numerous times, wake up. And also from some of the articles, it said that she had an attitude. So it wasn't just that she was falling asleep, but it was her attitude also. And so he finally said, or had someone take her, put her in prison clothes, and handcuff her. And so the uproar is, why did he do that? And his thing was he was trying to, I don't know if you remember the series, Justin, you might be too young, but the series Scared Straight.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
You remember, you were born? Okay. And so remember that. So
how come you didn't ask if I was born?
Family, brother, forget it. Don't even.
Hilarious.
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry. This is serious. It is a serious topic. Continue, Joanne. But you're right. The judge said it was his form of Scared Straight.
It was his form of Scared Straight because he felt like because of her attitude, because she kept falling asleep, she wasn't, I guess, engaging and and so this was his form of Scared Straight. And so now he's been debunked, or he's not on the bench until he takes this training. He also, from my understanding, lost his job at WC3.
Yes, he did.
As a teacher. So
at Wayne State, right?
I'm sorry.
Justin said Wayne State. Was it Wayne State?
Wayne State. Wayne State. I'm sorry. And so I have kind of mixed feelings on this. Because we know the attitudes of some of our people. We know, And yeah, you might be tired. Yes. And her mother said, well, they didn't have a place. They don't have their own place. But what does that have to do with proper procedure? What is not proper procedure? What does that have to do with being adherent to what you're in this man's courtroom?
Mm-hmm.
And he asked that you not go to sleep. This is not that time. And so it was like, well, she was tired. Well, she don't have her own bed to sleep in because we don't have housing. I don't know where they're staying. I haven't found anything. I just keeps coming up that she's tired. She doesn't have her own bed. And so I have kind of mixed feelings. I kind of see where he was coming from to try to scare her to look with that attitude. You could be here one day for real, facing me or somebody else. Was it a little bit too far? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I have mixed feelings. So I want to know what you guys feel. I have mixed feelings about that because I know dealing with some of our, and not just young folks.
Right.
And you in the school system.
Yes.
No. Justin with the public.
Right. He definitely knows
that sometimes we get we put our own selves in situations that if we're just I just want to get you all because I have mixed feelings about it. I really do. I don't at one point I don't think he was too harsh.
Okay.
Because he saw something probably in her that nobody else saw. Possibly. We're just getting a story, but he
was there.
He's there. He probably saw something, and so it's just I just want to know what you all think about that.
Yeah, I think I hear you when you say mixed feelings, and I think mixed feelings can be. I'm going to. I got several things. So I think that the method was extreme as it relates to the method which was used to scare straight, right? So, telling her, that he can do that, I'm all for that. But putting her in a jumpsuit and handcuffs, I think that's a little bit extreme for me. That's kind of where I draw the line at. I would have had her taken out of the courtroom, maybe put somewhere in the back room or something like that. Or, I think you could have did that better. I think it went too far. Often, though, I think about intent. And I think when you look at the court of law, we judge people by their intent, what they're intending to do. I don't think he intended to mean this young lady any harm. I think that he was trying to teach her a lesson.
And probably the others.
And probably others as well. And I think that and none of the information to me about her, whether she was tired or whether she has a bed, all that information to me is irrelevant because he didn't have any of that information at the time that he did that. Now, had he known that she's she don't have a bed to sleep in and she's tired, I'm pretty sure he would have probably had a little bit more grace. I will only think reasonably, he would. So I think you can't judge people based on information that they don't have. You know what I mean? Right. And I think that's my problem with it. But overall, what I see here is a society that tries to there's morality, which is subjective, right? Some people wear shoes in the house, some people don't. Some people do certain things and people don't. And then there's law. I don't think from a legal standpoint that he did anything wrong. I think he was trying to teach her a lesson. For example, we don't handcuff, juveniles. As a police officer, we don't handcuff juveniles. You see what I'm saying? So to me, that's a little extreme. Changing her clothes, putting her in juvenile, you going way too far. But then again, I could only imagine the people that work in that courtroom are not police officers. The people that work in that courtroom are Michigan certified. Most of them are honestly firefighters that work a second job. So they probably don't know any better not to do something like that to a juvenile. You see what I'm saying? A police officer would have been like, nah, we're going to take you out, but you're a juvenile. We're not going to put you in handcuffs. So I think that's more so on the court officers, you know what I mean, that did that. Now, did he order it? Right. Did he order for her to be put in contempt of court? Yes, he did. But I never saw a video who said put handcuffs on her and put her in a jumpsuit. You see what I'm saying? So
and it seemed like they were shackles.
Right. See, I don't think I don't see a video where he said that. So to me, That's more so on court staff that's working in that building who didn't realize that, okay, this is a juvenile, but all the attention is going to him because it was his decision to haul her in the attempt to court. But if you're not a person that understands the legal system, then you don't understand, because did he get up out the chair and go back? You know what I'm saying? Like, no, he didn't.
Exactly.
It wasn't him that put her in shackles, whatever. I wasn't there, but from the reports that I read, the young lady was being disrespectful. And I think it's tough as a society because we penalize people that have authority for morality, not that something was wrong, but because we will handle it differently. And I think that that's what we have to understand, is that the way that I parent my child may be the different you parent your child. Just like if I was the judge in the courtroom, I would have had her get out and stuff like that, whatever, and I would have gave specific more instructions about whatever. But that doesn't make him wrong. You know what I mean? But what we have in a public opinion is now this man has lost, his job at Wayne State University as a professor. And I just think this is ridiculous. And I think, honestly, or I can't say I think, but it's like, okay, the mom is coming for, okay, man, they about to try to sue. It's just like, come on, like if my child is doing something wrong, they're doing something wrong, and I want to make it right. I'm looking for opportunity to maybe this is the only correction that she's ever gotten. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I hate the situation. I hate it for him. At the same time, I'm aware of the trauma that this young female could be going through, having been experience of being put in handcuffs and in a jumpsuit.
But
I
hopefully
think
that trauma is going to change her attitude, because if she had a funky attitude, then hopefully that trauma, and that's why hopefully that trauma is going to change her to say, you know what? And then maybe not. It might make it worse. I don't know.
Yeah. I think in this case, it'll make it worse because you got all these people who are basically
now jumping on him. They on your side.
Saying he was wrong. So she just feel more justice. I don't think
he was totally wrong.
Right. And I think in situations like this, especially working in law enforcement, I've seen that all this does is it empower people to be even more disrespectful to authority, because we don't agree that morally that what happened was wrong. Okay, but did he do anything legally? Did he act out of, people saying he abuses power? I'm like, he didn't abuse his power.
He had the power to do that.
Exactly. But you're talking about morality is what you're talking about. You're talking about handling things differently. We can't judge, and I don't think a person should lose their job based off of something like that. Like, I don't think that's fair.
And I agree with you. I agree with that. And so a lot of my clients this week last week were and a lot of them brought it up, and I didn't think about it, but they said, look, even how her mother was trying to defend her,
right?
And exactly what you said. What is not having a bed, and you don't have a house to live in, and it wasn't like she said they were living on the streets,
right?
They just didn't have their own house. And she doesn't have her own.
She's saying she's tired. That's why. A lot of have a bed, so she's tired.
Right. So my clients were saying, "But look at the mother. She got her eyelashes done. She got her hair done. She got a." So
she was together.
You look like y'all together. The judge, and I didn't see I saw the girl, but wasn't paying attention like that. But they're like, she looked like she had her hair done. Mm-hmm. She looked so. You don't have a bed to sleep in. I mean, so I heard so many of the different,
scenarios
about that situation. And it's like, but if your daughter has a bad attitude, somebody needs to check that attitude.
Somebody needs to check it.
And that's the issue nowadays, is that we don't want people to check, or we don't want people to correct
bad behavior.
Right.
And like you said, just a lot of us will do things differently. The three of us will probably correct somebody doing the same thing differently.
Mm-hmm. Differently, right? And that and
it doesn't make it wrong. It
doesn't make it wrong, and it makes it different. It doesn't make it wrong, nor does it make it right. You know what I mean? It's just that we all have a different way of dealing with and handling people, and like it's just one of those things where it's like life. You may not like it. You may not like it, but we can find positive things in it. We can find negative things with it. Right. But it's a part of life. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, I think first of all, you always have to know your audience, and he may not have a lot of contact with teenagers. He may not even have any teenagers in his house, and if he does, I don't know. But when you're approaching those teens, now they are already subject and exposed to the police. Authority is bad. The police, they're not going to tell, as we say in Detroit, the police will not tell us what to do. Who's that judge? You know, that's just how they are. Teenagers have already done it all. They're the most intelligent being in the world, but they're not.
So they think.
They think. I think he should have taken the approach once he saw her sleep. Maybe put a little comic spin on it. Young lady, now would you be asleep at the Beyonce concert? You have to wake up. This is what we do in the courtroom. Take that as a learning opportunity to not only teach her, teach these other students. When you come to court, these are the rules and regulations. And of course, they normally tell you that. The bailiffs will say, okay, put that down, phones away, no sleeping. But these are children. Even though they're teenagers, they're still children. Their minds are not developed.
But you know what? And they don't take life seriously.
And they don't take life seriously.
Because you know what? You go through that spiel. I've visited courtrooms and stuff before, and they take you through that spiel of what you can do, what's allowed in the courtroom, what you cannot do. They do take you through that spiel when you get in, before you go into that courtroom.
Exactly.
Especially when you're visiting. This is not, and so I'm sure they have gone through that. But like they said though, it wasn't just one time that he had to tell her. It wasn't just twice that he had to tell her.
Who he talking to?
He saw something that I don't know if everybody saw, and I just don't think that he should be losing positions. And like they say, well, he's off the docket now until he gets his training and all of that. But I don't think he should. I don't think that that's just my feeling. I don't think he should be losing positions. I don't think he should have lost his job at I don't know why I want to say W.
But we're in this day and age where corporations are in politically a climate where everybody's so afraid to offend somebody. You know what I mean? And having so Wayne State removing him as a professor is just cutting ties so that they wouldn't be brought up, or so nobody could question them. That has no bearing. That situation has no bearing of him of being able to do his job. And I just feel like in a day and age where everybody is so opinionated and everybody can live out loud and everybody has the freedom to believe what they want to believe and do what they want to do, but yet everybody's so afraid to offend you're as long as you live, you're going to offend people. As long as people are going to disagree with you or have difference of opinions.
And it's okay.
It's okay.
And so it's wimpy corporations. You know what I mean? Sorry, it's just wimpy. Like he didn't do anything illegal. He exercised his right. This is equivalent to a judge dismissing a case because there wasn't a lack of evidence, and then Wayne State saying, okay, we're gonna let you go because you should have never let that person go. It's like what? Like what? Wait, what's the difference?
What's the difference? And was it to you?
And was it to you? But everybody's afraid.
And take a stand for something. Take a stand and get all of the information, because it was like from my understanding, it was the next day. So did they even have all the information? They just really saw that on the news, saw him on the news, and my thing is just like Justin said. Oh, no, we can't have that up in here.
Yep, we don't want that attention.
So nope, we got to let him go. You gone. So you don't even have all the information.
No, you don't.
Right. They're not conducting. And if anything, you can say we have standards here. We're going to conduct an independent investigation to see if he did with his conduct, whatever. Because that's what you do. You don't just remove him because that's weak to me. That's just
very weak.
And it also is, you're not taking the time for due diligence. I'm just gonna react. And all of these positions and people that are in these positions, as Justin said, are so nervous about getting some attention to them. They're reacting before they can even think and lay the entire scenario out and go stage by stage, frame by frame. So it's going to be very interesting to watch, because I'm sure this is going to be ongoing. He's off, like Joanne said, he's off the bench right now with pay, and the mom is she's whatever she's doing,
trying to
spend
build a case.
Yes,
trying to get some coins.
She's trying to get a come up.
Trying to get some coins.
That if she does try to, they throw it out of court. Because it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, and make her accountable for her actions.
For her daughter's actions.
100%.
I agree.
Hold your daughter accountable. This mess was because of your attitude, your and being just disrespectful and disobedient.
And it won't be tolerated. And you will end up here with that.
Yes, you will.
Nurturing that type of attitude and character. Well, we're going to keep our eyes close on this case and to see what's going on. You're watching. Yeah, you are watching, viewing and listening to Talking To. It comes on every Sunday, 7:00 p.m. Joanne Tosin Fuller and Justin Hearn. We have also coming up a little on today's show, going to talk about this Facebook post with former Mayor Kwame Kilpatrick, and one of his Facebook friends. But first, human trafficking.
So I'm gonna throw an audible in if I can, Rufus. And I want to say human trafficking for another day because it's really in depth, and I know we want to get to the other thing. But I want to talk about really quick something that's mainstream, that's been in the media, another hot topic. This is what it was: swatting. Y'all familiar with swatting is?
Swatter?
Swatting. Yes.
I think I'm familiar with it, but
SWATING. Swatting is something that's extremely popular. It's extremely happening right now. Swatting is when somebody pretty much prank calls or sends an email to the law enforcement saying that this is happening at this house to try to draw this large police presence. You know what I mean? Something like, somebody killed somebody, they're holding hostages right inside the home to invoke this swatting things. Well, Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson announced earlier this week that she was a victim of 2 swatting calls to her home.
Really?
She has a home here in Detroit. She announced that publicly on Twitter, so I'm not breaking any rules by saying that because she posted that. And sequentially, because of the nature of my job, I responded to a local media outlet I would not name, and I confirmed that, my job was investigating a case involving swatting. Well, what ended up happening was, because, my name was included in the press release, some hacker swatted me.
Really?
I got a call from my local police department saying that an email was sent to the mayor and the city administrators that I was holding hostages in my house and I had, killed somebody or something like that. So they called and I was like, well, I'm not at home, I'm at work, but, feel free to go by the house, and, they came, checked it out. It was nothing, but that's apparently is like popular now. And, and in fact, there's been other instances of swatting that's been happening. So I don't know, what's going on with this and why people, are doing it or whatever.
Nothing better to do.
But it's happening and it's outrageous.
Is there a TikTok video about this? Because I unfortunately I relate any kind of prank to something that may have been on TikTok. Have you seen or heard of?
I've heard of video. So video gamers, hackers have hacked video gamers because they stream live their video game, playing the game. And there's been instances I've seen where somebody has called and said the same thing. And next thing you know, the police were busted into their home while they're playing the video game because they didn't have they took the call seriously without properly vetting the call. And I don't know what city it was in, but yeah, you can find it. There is videos of swatting that happened, and you know, SWAT team all out at somebody's house, and it's like for nothing because somebody gave a prank call.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
Yes, it is ridiculous. This is the extreme of when people used to call cabs to people's homes, and they'd be out there blowing, and nobody comes out the door.
Exactly. You done caught a whole
right. Wait. Well, I said it now. I said we would just be sitting on the porch watching.
Right.
But this is a far more serious issue. These alleged allegations on the character of the individuals that are being attacked.
And so it's very serious. It's very serious nature. It's very serious matter. So, you know, definitely educate your kids on what swatting is, because if they're found to be doing this, they're taking this very, 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 very seriously, and they could be charged, you know, criminally or have a record because of a prank or a joke.
Good.
Yeah,
I mean, that's manpower. That's people. Somebody might get hurt.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, somebody could. You never know. You roll up at somebody's house. You just never know.
You never know.
You never know. So that it should be taken seriously.
And something seriously, or that's actually happening, is being affected by that, because all of the police are at the wrong location,
wrong address, yes,
where something is very much going on. Yeah. Well, Justin, you keep us up to date on that and different things that are coming about, and I'm sure at some point in time there's going to be some type of maybe ordinances put in place.
Yeah,
and it usually goes back on the parents. You know, they say, if your underage child is doing this, holding you accountable.
Yeah.
You know? Mercy.
The time is 7:52. We're going to go over to Facebook. So this past week, there was an exchange between two individuals, former Mayor Kwame Kilpatrick, and we will leave the person who began this exchange. We'll keep her anonymous just for the sake of that's the right thing to do. So this is the post that was made. I can't believe I stood strong with Kwame Kilpatrick just to get slapped in the face. Guess I should believe one criminal would support another one. Sellout hashtag. Hashtag one thief support another. Hashtag felon. Now that was the original post from the Facebook subscriber. And then there was a clapback from former Mayor Kwame Kilpatrick.
Yes, dig that. If you still with me, then you wouldn't allow your slave master to tell you who I am, nor immediately insult and seemingly degrade me like you do the other convicts you know and relate to. You would at least ask me a question first, but it seems that enlightenment, information, and access and truth are all behind safe hatred and ignorance and disingenuous notions of support. Unfortunately, you are real typical. Strive to be more.
And then the comeback. Kwame Kilpatrick, I will not go back and forth with you. I said what I said, and I mean every bit of it. Don't put anyone else in this but you two. You can't fast talk me. I am talking about two people. That is why I said felon to felon, not felons to felons, plural, self-hate. Never. Don't try to turn things around or waste time to fast talk me.
So it is no secret now that former Mayor Kwame Kilpatrick, his sentence was commuted by former President Donald Trump. And Kilpatrick has come out in support of Donald Trump's re-election to the presidency of the United States. Who's going to go first?
Do you think he's doing it out of fear? Because what I see, and did he see the big picture? Because everybody else that Trump exonerated, he totally exonerated. That means they didn't have to pay nothing.
That's right.
They didn't have to pay restitutions. They didn't have, it was totally, Kwame was the only one that you got out of jail ticket free, but you still got to pay that money.
You still got to pay.
You still have to, you know what I'm saying? So to me, that shows me, it showed me even back then, wow, okay. Not that I even agree. I don't know. I know, but you know.
Right.
So he was the only one, and the only black one that, I got you out of jail.
But that's it.
I'm not gonna forgive everything. The only one. Everybody else, everything was forgiven. Everything. So, and just because he did that, so that means you owe him now. So does he have something over his head? Does he have? Can he now, if he becomes president again, can he now say, if you don't support me, boy, you going back to jail? I mean, so it's all these questions that go around, like, is he really supporting him? Is he, and then if
playing the game?
Do you hear the words that are coming out of his mouth?
Right.
You know, that's my favorite line. I love that line in that movie. Anyway.
I love that too.
But do you hear the words that are coming out of his mouth? So how do you support someone who really does not care about you?
Right.
Mainly because of your color. He really doesn't. And really he doesn't care about people, period. He only cares about himself. And so, and he said that out loud. He said that himself out loud. And so it's like all these questions that go in my head. Okay, what is this really about? What is this? Go ahead.
Kwame Kilpatrick is a very smart dude. He is very calculated. And you know, I have the pleasure of, I guess, knowing him more on a personal level than probably most. But I don't think for one second that he will allow itself to be manipulated. I don't think he will allow himself to be bullwinked or could, whatever. If he chose to spoke, he chose to spoke on his own merit and for his own benefit. I believe that wholeheartedly. I think that sometimes you find yourself in between a rock and a hard place, but what you can stand on, you know, what's the right thing to do. I think that him speaking or at a convention, you know, about, you know, for Republicans, you know what I'm saying? Where is the go vote for Donald Trump? It wasn't a rally. You know what I mean? It wasn't something that was like, oh, go for Trump, go for Trump, go for Trump. You know, that wasn't the message. That's not what it was. Like, I believe that other, you know, blacks have been suckered into or looked for their 5 minutes of fame. You know what I mean? People have looked at none of that seems like to me. I think that you know, if somebody did something for you, then I think that not necessarily that they got something over your head, but you know what I'm saying? But in a way, I think that the right thing to do is to within what you believe, speak to that. And I think that that's what he did. I don't think he's a Donald Trump groupie. I think that, you know, if you buy me a new piano, a brand new piano, and you ask me, hey, one of these days, man, could you come and play the piano for the class? I mean, that's the least that I can do. That's retribution. That's reciprocation. That's being a good person. You know what I mean? And so I think that that falls in the line. Now, Donald Trump can take that and sell it that, hey, I got Kwame Kilpatrick on my side. I got another black one. Well, that has his narrative has no impact on Kwame's why of doing something. You know what I mean? And I guess that's the stance that I take and I see is that, you know, you can tell everybody that you train me and I'm coming because I'm your understudy. But in my reality, I'm coming because you asked me to come and because I have respect for you. You see what I'm saying? So everybody's going to have their own narrative about what's happening.
So we're gonna call her Fluky Joe.
Okay.
Fluky Joe said, let me go back to one line in here. I can't believe I stood strong. Guess just to get slapped in the face. Now, what did Fluky Joe do?
That's what I don't understand. What
did she? She said she stood strong, strong with her money, strong with going to the rallies, strong with making phone calls and saying vote for Kwame, strong with going out and putting things on the lawn. What is strong? And I got slapped in my face because someone made the decision to do something that they did.
Makes no sense. I'm really surprised that
I would have to know what she meant by that. Yeah, I would have to know what she meant. What do you mean you stood strong? You believed in him totally? What did he actually? What does that mean? What does that mean?
Because another perspective of this particular exchange is that he responded.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
there's something
there, or is there? Does he know Fluky Joe? Had he seen her? Had there been a conversation between the two? Maybe sharing Fluky Joe sharing what she thought about how the city should be run. Maybe the mayor, he's telling Fluky Joe, well, this is what I'm going to do as mayor. Everything goes together. They're talking, they're laughing, they're kicking, they're toasting to the bright future of the city of Detroit.
Right.
Because I don't regularly see him responding.
Right. No,
not regularly.
For him to respond, there has to have a relationship.
Some familiarity.
Whatever type of, I'm not saying, relationship.
Right.
But there had to be a relationship for her to put that out and for him to respond. So, and then for her to even come back. I'm not going back and forth with you. So it sounds like there was some off-screen talking.
Conversations.
There was some off-screen conversations going on. So there is a relationship there. What that is, we don't know. If she just supported him wholeheartedly, we don't know. We don't know the backstory.
The backstory. Social media is just what it is. Of course, we have taken it and made it our public diary, and we express ourselves on things that sometimes we shouldn't, because sometimes I get ready to post something, Justin, and I say, "Oh, Rufus, don't do that. You're gonna look crazy."
And then other people post. I put out a post a couple of weeks ago, and there was some response. But I know this person too, and they want to go head up with me, and so I'm like, I don't even respond.
Okay.
I saw it. I don't even. And then what was funny is I looked at it the other day, and there were other people who responded to his post. I mean, would lay it into him, and I'm like, I've learned I don't even respond. Right. I'm not going back and forth because I know this person, so I know their mindset, and so I'm not going back and forth with you. I'm not, because I know you crazy, and I'm
right.
That's the bottom line.
I know you got some issues, and so. When he responded to my post, the way he responded, I said, okay, well, go, peace, go.
A couple of years ago, I made a response about something, and a post about something, in general, I got a response back, and they were letting me have it and saying, well, maybe this, and maybe you know the person differently than what I know, but if this, I said, calm down, Grandma. It's not that serious. It's not that serious. It's a means of communication, really. And I think about it and I look at it as just something for someone to prod their thinking, just to get your mind,
going.
Yeah. Just a perspective.
And you know, sometimes I put stuff on it just so you can things. You know that old saying, things that make you go,
Exactly.
That's all. Because everybody, look, just like a nose, everybody has one. Everyone has one. Just like everybody has a nose. Guess what?
There was a song on Facebook, and I didn't know the song, and I posted the video because I wanted to know the artist, but the video itself had the soloist in the group. Her wig fell off. And people were making funny comments about that. But the person that I posted to never responded publicly. But then when I did get the response, I said, maybe they were thinking that I was trying to be funny or trying to make light of, trying to be funny about the video. But that was never my intent. I really wanted to know who sang the song. So, you know, sometimes people take things and they do things and
they run with it.
And they run with it. They run
and
with it.
And not ask any questions, you know. And that's just even with texting nowadays, you know. If you don't, and that's why a lot of times I want to talk to somebody, especially if we're going to have a conversation.
Yes.
Then let's talk, because then you can hear my tone, you can hear my intonations, you can hear, you can feel what I'm saying. Versus, because I've had people take me the wrong way in text, and so it's like, no, I didn't mean it that way, because they heard a tone in their head. I said what I said, and I'm like, no, that's not how I meant that.
That wasn't fair.
You should have called me and asked me, but now you mad
down the street with it. Yes.
Call me and ask me, and that's really not how I meant it.
Not at all.
And that's why I really still believe in that communication, that personal communication, because these are just tools, like you said. These are just little tools of TikTok, Facebook, all these things, tools of communication. But you can't take everything serious. You can't take it all at face value.
That's right.
Not all of it.
And like you said, a lot of people are so they're not all there anyway. Save your energy to you and how you gonna make yourself a better person. And don't get so caught up in what you're reading.
But she's mad about something.
She's mad about something.
He sounds like he turned on her, or she feels that he turned on her about something.
Yes.
And so that it's not going the way it was supposed to go. But y'all should be arguing that out personally.
Right.
But and I'm with you. I'm kind of surprised that he responded to her with that.
Exactly.
Because that should be. But who knows? But it's
what is very interesting. He responded very polished. But I know.
I'm wondering if he really wrote that.
I know it could have gone a different way. Yes, indeed. I guess he said, "Oh, let me remember I'm a preacher now."
Yeah. So he's like, "Okay, let me just
do my attorney response."
Yeah.
And let Fluky Joe read between the lines.
Yes, and let's deal with this personally.
And let's deal with this.
And it's okay.
Yes. And it's okay. I want to remind everybody about next week, that what's going on. Dr. Eloquent Weaver, and it says here you can get your tickets. LeQuint Weaver, Biblical Stories, August 25th, 2024. Tickets available now at CantonVillageTheater.org. I'm sure it's going to be, I know without a doubt, it's going to be a great event.
Yes.
And everybody's going to be excited about seeing Dr. Eloquent Weaver and Biblical People. Joanne, give us a word for the week.
Ooh, give us a word. Give us a word. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Believe.
I love it.
Just believe.
Straight and to the point.
Believe.
Well, Joanne and Justin, we had a great show today.
Yes.
And I'm interested to see maybe some comments will appear a little later on today or maybe during the week. But we thank everybody for viewing, taking your time out, and for staying with us 16 minutes longer than normal. But we appreciate it. And we will see you next week. Joanne, you have a great evening.
Peace.
All right. Thank you, everyone, once again for viewing and watching Talking To right here every Sunday, 7:00 p.m. And we love to have you here with us. Tell a friend, tell a cousin, tell a hater. All right, Joanne, have a pleasant evening. Justin, you take care of yourself, and we'll see you all next week.
Yes.